cannot say like completely stopping the coal right now, right the moment can't be a solutions, but we need to move around the alternatives. So we have like good news is that Nepal is moving towards EV mode, that we have EV vehicles in overall Nepal. The public vehicles is we can also use like social media. So as I have talked about the Hawa Badlam campaign, it was like a social media campaign we did with lots of people, young people who were like raising the voices of on like air pollution issues. We have connected with them, and we have like done a protest. We have raised our petition on a Speak Up Nepal. There is a one of the portal where we used to like have voices and our issues for the governmental level.
This leads to mounting pressure on industries to generate some kind of policy reversal or industry protection. The coal industry has a strong tie-ups because of the interest that extend beyond the mere power generation sector. Coal is tied to many interests, especially in political and economic settings. For example, finance, railroad, steel, metal production, etc. So the three countries, Nepal, India, Bangladesh, are involved in this tripartite agreement. Now this agreement has been in effect from November 2004. 2024.
So on behalf of Youth Thinker Society, it is my privilege to extend our deepest gratitude to everyone who has made today's session of BAITHAK to a resounding success. Your presence, passion, and commitment to confronting the critical issue of fossil fuel, lobbying in global climate policy have truly brought this dialogue to life.
So, good evening, everyone. I am Tanvi Thakur, the Project Director of Climate Cadets Collective, and here I am honored to welcome you all in BAITHAK 2.0. It is a cross-national youth dialogue and grounded in collective and climate justice. So the word BAITHAK is rooted from South Asian tradition, and it refers to a space of shared reflection and deliberation. And it has been historically proven that BAITHAKs nurture meaningful, discuss, and participatory dialogues. So today we will start with that spirit, and through this critical dialogue of 2 days between the youth leaders from India and Nepal. So the theme of our session is confronting the fossil fuel lobbying in global climate policy. And it reflects one of the most urgent yet under discussed challenge in the climate governance. So the increasing presence of fossil fuels basically in climate negotiations like COP28 and COP29 raises serious concerns about transparency, equity, and intergenerational equity. So, over the next 2 days, I hope we not only exchange the ideas and also build the enduring connections, shared commitments, and actionable roadmaps. So, let's make this BAITHAK more than just a session, but a catalyst for change. So, now I would like to hand this over to Mansha Pawar to introduce the speakers of our session.
Thank you so much, Tanvi. Before that, we just like to go ahead and introduce the organizations who have very diligently worked and have been able to pull this off today. So I'm Mansha, one of the directors here at C-Cube, and it's a pleasure to welcome you all at BAITHAK 2.0, which is a collaborative youth dialogue between India and Nepal. C-Cube is a youth-led initiative under the Millennium Campus Network Fellowship, aligned with the UN Academic Impact. We aim to empower young people to lead climate action from the ground up, whether that's through policy, innovation, and strong community engagement. What began at the University of Delhi has now grown into a 500-strong network with members from leading institutions across India and abroad. Through events like the Terra Eco series and collaboration with experts and institutions like the American Center and Norwegian Embassy, we are continuously and consistently working to center youth and climate. This BAITHAK is just a part of that mission, a space for cross-border reflection, solidarity, and action. We're thrilled to be hosting this with our peers from Nepal as we explore one of the most urgent topics to discuss in climate governance today. Thank you so much for joining us. I would like to introduce Upama, who will be going ahead and introducing YTS to you all. Thank you.
Okay, so hello and namaste everyone. I am Upama Acharya, currently working as a climate project head at the Youth Thinker Society. So, Youth Thinker Society YTS is a youth-led non-profit organization with a vision of empowering youth and sustaining communities. We strongly believe that when young peoples are equipped with the right tools, knowledge, and opportunities, they will become powerful change makers in their societies as well. So YTS working on a very various thematic groups which include education, entrepreneurship, AI tools and digitalizations, youth advocacy and policy making, research and community development, and of course the climate and environment sector as well. And one of our flagship initiatives is the EIMUN. So it is an international platform that brings together youth from across the world to deliberate, negotiate, and propose solution of a global issue through diplomacy and dialogue as well. And it is truly a pleasure to be here today, and I'm very happy to see you all gathered for this important and timely discussion. On the behalf of organizing team, I will like to warmly welcome each and every one of you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. We just like to go ahead and introduce the speakers now for the session. Our speaker from Nepal, we're very honored to welcome Mr. Divakar Upreti. He is a dynamic youth rights activist from Nepal with over 8 years of experience in advancing climate justice, democracy, and human rights. A very powerful voice for youth-led change and social transformation. He's the founder of Kayapalat, an organization that goes ahead and actively, advocates for inclusive governance and environmental accountability. Divakar leads community-driven initiatives that uplift marginalized voices through advocacy, grassroots campaigns, and open dialogue. His work bridges policy and people, promoting civic engagement and critical thinking amongst young people. We'd also like to go ahead and invite Dr. Neha Sharma, for which I would like to go ahead and invite
We are honored to welcome Dr. Neha Sharma, the Assistant Professor of Environmental Science at LSR College of DU, and with an impressive portfolio of publications and a portfolio dedicated to environmental conservation and climate change. Dr. Sharma stands as a leading voice in the field. So she is not only an academic but also an active change maker. As an advisory board member of the Climate Cadets Collective, she plays a vital role in guiding youth led climate action initiatives. Her passion for environmental education goes beyond the classroom. She runs a students across the nation with a thriving community of over 13.8 thousand subscribers. Dr. Sharma's work embodies a rare blend of scholarship, advocacy, accessibility, making her a true inspiration for aspiring environmentalists.
All right, so now maybe I can take it. I would request both the speakers to please come up and just turn on their videos, and we may go ahead with the opening statements from Diwakar sir. So yes,
So, hello, am I audible?
yes, you are.
Okay, hello everyone, namaste. So, it is like, should I start like just only giving a few backgrounds and remarks, or should I have like time up to 25 minutes? Like, I can go with my topic.
I mean, it's totally on you. It's like
Okay.
whatever, go with the floor. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Vansi. So, hello everyone. It's truly great to be here. So, I would like to thank Youth Thinker Society and Climate Cadres Collective for giving me this opportunity and inviting me here with you guys to just share about the some of the more insightful and like important topic regarding the like fossil fuels on our global climate plans that is tackling with the influence by the global climate policies. So before I start into the main points, let me give you some few roadmap that you guys have shared me about some four clue like I should have to cover that. So I think I will be talking about that why coal is still around in Nepal, and even though the world is moving towards the greener solutions, where we are like in terms of Nepal, where we are moving on. And also I will explore about the exciting possibilities that clean energy options, and how Nepal and its neighbor could like how Nepal and its neighbor means India and China could work together on this, looking at the both good and the tricky parts. So let me start from we all know that Nepal is quite vulnerable in terms of climate crisis. So we didn't claim, but we are really in vulnerable situations. So we are contributing on global like climate change like 0.0027% only, which is negligible. So looking like that graph, we can say that Nepal leads strongly on the power of rivers and hydropower. So everyone knows we are the mountain countries, and we have like major source of like clean energy is hydroelectricity, hydropower. So we used to like flow our hydropowers, our hydroelectricity up to 83,000 megawatts. But recently, up to date data we have only 10,000 around megawatt we can like produce, and we are right now selling those hydro electricity to the Bangladesh and India. But there is like certain vice versa. So in especially summer region, we used to buy electricity from India too. Is due to we do have shortage of water flow in our rivers, and also due to a flood and different climatic orders, we are right now getting a more challenge in hydroelectricity part also. So more focus on talking about the more in a bigger terms, talking about the coal. So in 2016, as I have gone with the data, so Nepal has only consumed up to 283,000 tons of coal annually, which is also like 0.0033%. So like it is also a totally like negligible amount that we negligible portions. So while talking about this negligible in a global scale, coal may be like significant part of Nepal's energy mix, but dependence on more imports from India, because the many rural parts of the Nepal also right now depends on the coal for their daily uses. They are cooking on a coal. They are using majorly the industries are using a coal. So I think like 0.003%, which is consumed in Nepal, is basically used by the industrial areas, so that they are using likewise. But we do not use um, we are majorly talking about the coal, but we are majorly uh, dependent on the petroleum for things like vehicles and cooking gas, as well as some industries still use coals, as I have mentioned. So we used to have like train which used to move from Jayanagar, like Bihar Jayanagar to Janakpur Dham, which used to like have a coal access of as a fuel. But right now it is also a change to the diesel model. So in terms of petroleum things, we are driving like vehicles, we are using trains. Our factories are also like converted to a broader petroleum mode. So I think that coal doesn't play a giant role in here, and it does in India's energy mix. Instead, Nepal is blessed with a huge potential for clean and renewable energy. As I have mentioned, we have a water, we have a mountain regions. So we are also starting to like tap into a power of sun, wind, and even waste to meet our energy needs in more sustainable way. Like we have a different kinds of renewable energy which is used by sun, winds. So terms of wind, we are in certain areas of Nepal, we are wind. In terms of wind, we are using like creating or generating electricity, but it is like as a piloting project from Nepal side. But we are more, government is seeking a fund and calling a global action for to have a budget over that, so that that can be more that can be more productive in coming days. So talking about the coal scenario, we are doing like this, also thinking about our resilience on the fossil fuels imported from India, because we are more dependent on the India in terms of import. So we used to import the goods and petroleum items from the India. So talking about that, there is some good news too, and then some there are challenges, because life do exist with the petroleum and like coal things, but we cannot say like completely stopping the coal right now, right the moment can't be a solutions, but we need to move around the alternatives. So we have like good news is that Nepal is moving towards EV mode, that we have EV vehicles in overall Nepal. The public vehicles is transiting from petroleum diesel vehicles to a EV mode. So that's the one of the good thing we are like transforming. So the vehicles we are buying, that is the majorly have a huge capacity of that are huge, that is imported from the China and India. So people are buying as they are being more sensitive regarding the petrol and petroleum products. So we have also save a lot of money in terms of that, as we are decreasing our demands of the petroleum items from India's. Just last few months only, the status of the Nepal Oil Corporation is also like they were seeking more few amounts of depreciate was seen in terms of liter of the petrol and like petroleum items. So it shows that the more energy independent and less vulnerable of the price hikes in the global market might be our roles. So plus focusing on our more renewable energy, we are also seeking for a more job right here in Nepal. We are creating a job. So likewise we are working on hydropower to shifting from ev to job, and switching to more cleaner energy also. We have upfront investment in new technologies and infrastructure. So we have people who are in the rural areas who used to have firewood as their daily uses. They are shifting with the electric stoves, we can say that uh, that is used by electricity. So likewise we have also government has some renewable models. The fuel taxes is getting high, as there is environmental tax and other taxes system in Nepal. Through the way moving from imported fossil fuels promises a healthier economy and environment for Nepal. We are more being sensitive regarding the petroleum and coal things. Also, talking more about the commitment of sustainable future, we are one step forward in terms of the things we used to do. So this really means focusing on developing our renewable energy resources like hydropower, solar, in a way that respect our environment is quite good. And at the same time we need to be more smarter about that, how we use and how we save our energy in terms of our home business and transportation mode. And we can also say about how we can use those clean energy in our technologies and energy efficient practices. So how we can make them more energy efficient practices. So investing the people whom we see in Nepal, whom we see like business tycoon. So we used to say them like a business tycoon. So business tycoon who used to have we can say investing in diesel and other vehicles. They are right now shifting to the electric vehicles, as there are lots of protocols for Nepal governments, whether they are not giving more discount, tax discount in the EV mode. But there is challenges. Instead of that, European Union is supporting for a cleaner cooking methods. I have also earlier mentioned about that. They are supporting families with the electric stoves, so that is helping for the cooking methods in the rural community in Nepal. Likewise we are more concerned to create a policies when working together with the international partners. And we are also building a energy system that both reliable in environmental friendly, ensuring that future of all Nepalis will be greater and sustainable, more impactful. So, talking about the across Nepal, we can see that inspiring examples are there. We have reducing the dependence of fossil fuels, and as I have mentioned, we have just completely we not yet we have shifted to the EV mode, but right now government has a policies. Government is strictly banning the 20 years old polluting vehicles in Kathmandu valleys and outside of the Kathmandu valleys, and we have our own like policies is in a process to build and draft the policies. So talking about those policies, we are more step forward to ban those all pollutants vehicles and pollutants areas, and making them more sustainable. To make them more sustainable, we are moving for the EV and more like clean energy resources. So also talking about the hydropower projects, we have like villagers are investing in the like hydropowers. We are like share market system. So share market system, they are the policy is giving a chance to the local village community to plus provide the their thoughts, their investment in the hydropower, so that due to the fund of the local people, their ownership can be more impactful in hydropower projects. So people are also using like solar lamps in their houses, and also as I have used like biogas is there in our like rural communities, which is really one of the best example for clean energy. Those the cow dung and waste from the like animals and households, they used to like create a bio gas. Instead of that, we are also like seeking for some local and indigenous practices that used to uh, practices in Nepal. So we are also trying to promote from the government side. That is also, they are also trying to promote those things. So we are moving forward with those all things. Is the part of I have just shared this as a part of coal, how Nepal is connected with coal to like petroleum product and petroleum product to like EV mode. So now we are now if I am talking about more about the green energy alternatives and inter-country synergies about the trade and other opportunities. So I think we need to look at the Nepal's energy future, which I have shared you guys. There is more we have so much natural power, especially from our rivers, and think of it like a huge untapped battery. The water power, along with the growing potential of sunshine and even some a wind, means Nepal could become a real leader in clean energy. As we used to compare like whole region, we have a mountains, and like from Chure to mountain range, from 59 feet to 848 feet, we have like a cross amounts of rivers and water. So with those huge untapped battery, we like trying to make Nepal's could be a real leader in a clean energy. And we are also seeking like like share this green power with other neighbors. As I have mentioned, we are also like selling a hydroelectricity to India and Bangladesh, but in the real time we have also like getting back electricity, like we are also importing electricity from India as like in a critical phase. So it's like we have both like India, Bangladesh, whom the Nepal is selling right now hydroelectricity, have a win-win situation. But strengthening our like relationship and promoting more cleaner energy is is the today's we can say that reality. We need to work more on that. Both government needs to like invest in like hydropower, so that Nepal's hydropower can more be a cleaner for both countries in terms of creating more good relationship, promoting the cleaner energy. So in point of view like that, we can go there. Also getting to the point, I have written some of the few points while uh, I was going with the other documents. So like talking about the green energy, so we have like building a hydropower least, like I have also mentioned, 83,000 megawatts is total amount of hydro energy we can produce. But still we are like in range of 15,000 only, 10 to 15,000, which is like 5 to 7% only we are right using our rivers for hydro clean energy. So there is a chance for every single like investor, every single government to like support Nepal's hydropower system, that clean energy system, to promote more cleaner and sustainable futures. Instead of that, we know that these energies should be managed so wisely, so that we have like we are right we are heated by a climate crisis, and in this time we need to more think about the mountains. So mountains where there is being a lack of snow, so we need to think more about that, because when there is snow, then we only we can that talk about the rivers, because those all rivers are entitled with the connected with the mountains. So I think there should be more focus regarding the investment, and real investment will be there. Then only we can see more sustainable future. Otherwise, we need to focus on other clean energy sources, I have also mentioned earlier about the sun and wind. So we have really a good situation with Nepal for those both countries who are more like neighborhood for in terms of like India and Bangladesh, and also the other countries who are around us. They had also a chance, they had also we need to have to like build a power lines and other figures, so that the rules and regulation for us can be more broader, and they can also make a big steps that we take for the global policy changing. So this is the wider things I have noted down. And there is also like we can working with closely with India can be a game changer, I think so, because I have imagined that if we join forces and sharing our resources with the technical knowledge, because we are more working on, because we have less amount of budget, the technical things we are right now having ADB is supporting us, World Bank is supporting us. But I think in terms of this, when the two countries do agree with these game changing plans, then they can create more technical knowledge, and we have lots of experience managing a big power grids and new energy technologies we can learn from. So building cross border power lines, teaming up and creating more clear rules encouraging for the investment. We can go broader area, and India also can get the benefit for cleaner energy is the one of the major things. Other thing is we are also seeking about the we have like Koshi River, which is directly connected with the Ganga, and that is the one of the major thing that we can produce more electricity, clean energy. I think as I have mentioned, 83,000 that megawatt will be like efficient for five countries, five nations, for their like cleaner energy. So talking about that broader lanes, we can also build a large dams to contribute for a underground water resourcing system, because we all know that in context of Nepal, our Tarai region, which is directly connected with the India border, they are right now facing a water crisis. So for that terms also, we have Kamala river, there is Koshi river, which has a larger amount of water flow. So we can do a groundwater restoration system from like river water to a groundwater system, so that that water can be regenerated to a border layer, so that it can be one of the other sources for like clean and safe drinking water. Because when we talk about only like river water, hydropower or other things, there is one of the major things human body a human needs is about like water. So the every human civilization starts with the water bank. So we need some more thoughts about the more safer, cleaner drinking water too. So I have connected this point to here. And talking about more careful environment, people living in those areas, they can create a large dams and change river ecosystems. And sometimes even people to move from their homes, we can have that breeze to be impactful. So another thing is like big solar farms we can create. So Dubai have already initiated these ideas in like Cambodia. They are also working in Vietnam, and many countries like Dubai's technologies is moving across the world, so we can also generate like solar energy instead. In Nepal, there is a like hilly region, so we can create more solar energies, solar farms, like a farm, and that can also impact the land. That can also less impact the land, and that can also be a change maker ideas for the clean energy. So this is the one of the thing. Third thing I have noted down, and another thing is that we need to wisely look out these project responsibilities through our environmental check, because we have like EIA guidelines. So we used to have an environmental assessment, because we have like three regions like Himal, Hilli, and Tarai. But in three regions there are like different topographic changes, and there are also geographical changes. So we cannot say that every ground has same issues, but those everything is devastating due to climate crisis, and they have their own sorts of climate justice demand. So we need to more think for their also plans, so that those communities, local communities who are right now talking about the environmental justice, climate justice, we need to more address their voices by like protecting the natural beauty, and also by using a more sustainable and cleaner energy. So it is like I have shared like how India and Nepal can grow in terms of clean energy. And another thing is that I was given a question about like influence of fossil fuel lobbying. Yeah, that was the question. So here is like I have noted down some of the points. So fossil fuel lobbying is quite challenging. I know. Yeah, here are the lots of you who are working on a like fossil fuel things. We know that even big countries who are right now like Azerbaijan, last year only the COP has been done. COP was organized there, but the people have they have not they have not like taken the Azerbaijan so seriously in terms of COP. So why it happened? It was like on COP 28, Dubai has played a greater role with like India. They were like sharing of fresh water and about a petroleum from same pipeline, and building a like metro trains. Likewise, things was gone from the Dubai side. So likewise, things was we can say compensated by the Azerbaijan with like other countries in terms of like climate conference. There was a name of the climate conference, but people was more focused on how they can they can get a more support of petroleum and diesel items from the Azerbaijan. So that kind of deal was happened inside of the Azerbaijan, which was really a shocking news for every climate justice campaigners who are right now raising their voices at that moment. And really this time we are going for like Brazil. Brazil, and there is also we can say a source of narrative that Brazil has also like same kinds of negotiations regarding like loss and damage or other climate funds, but they are more countries are more concerned with the petroleum items, as the Azerbaijan is losing its fossil fuels level, and other like Dubai is also tentatively as I have read, I have knew about like 2055, I think Dubai can supply the petroleum items, Dubai and Qatar. So likewise things is happening, and they are right now exploring for other countries where the fossil fuels can be created, or they can produce. So talking about more weight in our policies, and huge companies is coming to Nepal. They are expecting like they can buy more fossil fuels from them, and they are right now campaigning with a lots of money, but it's so of subtle. Well, for example, I can give you like when decisions are made about the infrastructure project, there might be a push up for roads that primarily benefits vehicles running on fossil fuels rather than a prioritizing electrical vehicles, as I have mentioned earlier too. So especially we, those who are working with the government directly and raising the voices for the, like climate justice, we have like sorts of threats like a dead life threats, like they are trying to make us to keep quiet instead of like getting more budget to a government. And I think many of the participant has also uh, listen about the MCC, that American government USAID is was like investing here in Nepal in terms of hydropower, and they have like ideas of generating a road, because their plan MCC was in Nepal to like build up for the hydroelectricity. They were here to support the hydroelectricity. But meanwhile they have like a plan, and the business tycoons and other like fossil fuel like business tycoons supported government, influences government to like they need to like create road, and they need to have more vehicles in those roads so that they can create a tax and they can have. So there is hand raised. Is there anything?
I mean, I would just request you to just we move back to the second speaker, so and we'll come back to the questions very soon.
Okay, okay, no worries, sure. So so I was connecting with the taxes incentives that government is seeking to have with the those things. So there is like cleaner energy and traditional fuels, petrol, diesel are the major things that Nepal is like now having. And Nepal has also definitely felt some outside pressure. We have, I can say that there is a like policy. We have energy policy that is influenced by outer pressure, outer side pressure. The outer side pressure was like sometimes by we can say that directly I can say that India is sometimes creating more pressure for like policies, and they are like demanding with the government, when the government deny those like demands from the countryside. So that time our government used to be unstable, because more power exercise between means of Nepal lies in like neighbor countries. So I think it is not only about the power exercise, it's also about the diplomacy that Nepal has, and the diplomacy that was after like we have just restored the democracy after 2007. So like these things used to happen. So I don't think it is a so big issue, but international companies, so I won't name them, but they have their own interest in promoting certain energy sources. For instance, they also could subtle their energy export strategy, because they knew how to sell more amount of fossil fuel in Nepal context. So there is might be pressure of like directly or obviously they can influence the choices of Nepal. They used to make about like energy futures, sometimes making it harder and making locally sourced alternatives. And I think everyone have heard like Nepal is also seeking for a fossil fuels, and they are having a lots of budget to know whether there is like chance to produce, or there is a layer of like fossil fuels or not, diesel or petrol or not. So in two regions, in Hilli and one in Tarai, that is nearly to Nisgad, they are right now seeking for the petroleum items. So there are also interest of the business tycoon and other investor. So despite of these all challenges, the thing is that we have to raise the voices. So there is the Nepali youth activists who have a powerful role in play in pushing for like cleaner energy policies. We have recently we have endorsed the NDC, nationally determined contribution, and we have also climate change policies. But at there we need to work more on like policy level, because these two policies is only for like a framework to advocacy to do advocacy for like climate justice or climate issues. But I don't think these two only policies can help Nepali youth to raise their voices. So we need to more raise more voices for a policy making and public awareness, basically for drawbacks of the fossil fuels. And we must create a pressure for change. And I think there are lots of examples. So Hawa Balloon is a campaign So in Nepal we are right now working on Hawa Badlon, so it's like about the air pollution campaign. And definitely after a 2 years long advocacy, we were able to make our like Kathmandu metropolitan city to like check 20 years old vehicles and to ban them, and less to make them more sure that how the campaign can change. And they have recently also shared like past the their like local level policies about the air pollutions, and they are right now mapping with those all things. So I will just complete it within 1 minute, and I will go with that raised hand. So we can also use like social media. So as I have talked about the Hawa Badlam campaign, it was like a social media campaign we did with lots of people, young people who were like raising the voices of on like air pollution issues. We have connected with them, and we have like done a protest. We have raised our petition on a Speak Up Nepal. There is a one of the portal where we used to like have voices and our issues for the governmental level. So from those platforms, by joining the hands with the other young peoples, we could do, means there is a chance of doing more advocacy, and Nepali youth are doing that things too. They are making a policy maker more responsible and accountable. But right now, talking about the scenario we are doing a Sagarmata Samvad. So that is also one of the greatest thing that we are doing. But we have like there are the lots of factor working for like Sagarmata Samvad. But we say that these kinds of debate dialogues should be there, but the like participation of the young people's voices, like and children voices should be ensured for that, so that the Sagarmatha is like everyone's. It's not only about the Nepal's, but it's like the overall the ecological systems. So by working together, demanding a sustainable future, we can like young people and activists can counter lobbying pressure and create policies that prioritize a healthy environment. So I think like that. And I have also shared some like Hawa Badlam best practices. So these are the things from my side, as I have just noted down with the topic you guys have shared. If there is any kinds of questions, any kinds of like related with the Nepal, so I am here to like reply. I don't know, I can
It's
directly
okay, it's
give
okay.
you. Okay.
It's okay. Thank you so much, Devaka, for that brilliant presentation. We'll come back
Mhm.
with the questions. We'll first hear back from Neha ma'am from the Indian perspective on fossil
Sure.
fuels, and then we'll move on to the question and answers. Ma'am, the floor is yours. I'm so sorry.
Sure, no
Uh,
worries.
thank
I
you.
I really thank Climate Credit Collective as well as Youth Thinker Society for bringing me here on the platform. And it was really nice to hear from Mr. Divakar about the perspective related to Nepal and what kind of initiatives are being done in our neighbor country. So now I will present perspective of India in this direction. So I would like to share my slides for this. Okay, so the topic is confronting fossil fuel lobbying in global climate change policy. Now, climate change is happening right in front of us with unbearable scorching heat, melting of glaciers, sudden silence and chirping of birds, and intense cyclone. All these phenomena really highlight the fact that climate change is inevitable. It is happening right in front of us. Even the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres rightly stated in 2022 that world is on highway to climate hell with foot on accelerator. Now, world leaders have also noted about the problem that are going on in our environment, and therefore, in 2015, world leader committed to limit global warming well below 2 degrees Celsius under the agreement, which is well known as Paris Agreement. Now, the essential requirement to mitigate climate change is to phase out coal power. IPCC has also mentioned that if we want to achieve the goal of 1.5 degrees Celsius reduction in temperature, then we have to phase out coal. But then, how to do it? So, there are two options before us. First, first we can reduce current global coal consumption. And the second option is that we can find some clean energy sources. Now, if existing coal consumption is to be reduced, then the main challenge will be to overcome political incentives to preserve coal use in domestically oriented market. At present, coal use is limited to selected few countries. which are listed here. So the countries like China, India, US, Japan, Russia, they are the main coal consumption, are the main countries which consume huge amount of coals, and as well as they produce large amount of coal. Now, if one look at coal use, it is largely confined to large number of key market, like we have mentioned, all these countries like India, US, Japan, Russia. Now, the markets with large supplies of coal will supply their own consumption, creating an integrated supply chain. Now, this forms a coalition of interested actors that will resist efforts to reduce coal consumption and to promote policies that protect coal from competition. Now, with availability of alternate sources of energy, we may observe a shift away from coal. This leads to mounting pressure on industries to generate some kind of policy reversal or industry protection. The coal industry has strong tie ups because of the interest that extend beyond the mere power generation sector. Coal is tied to many interests, especially in political and economic settings. For example, finance, railroad, steel, metal production, etc. Now, such an array of interest can facilitate powerful coalitions that can dissuade policymakers from implementing policies and might lead to reduction or phasing out of coal. After all, it is business. The coal coalition's strength in adverse market conditions support industries, and therefore they see industries like steel, railroad, banking as a client, and therefore they protect the business interest. It's also about survival of local community. Production of coal is typically integrated in a specific region and thereby elicit strong localized political support that is generally voiced in national policy. Coal mines, like other mines, serve as concentrated source of employment vital to the economic well-being of their surrounding community. Disruption of such industries lead to unemployment and have potential to create political dissatisfaction within the local community. The potential of environmental justice and just transition is also related to jobs versus environment. This means that the laborers and other social actors see environmental policy as threat to their own job, and therefore they resist any kind of environmental policy and will favor continuous exploitation of coal resource. India and coal. India in 2017 was considered as world largest producer, consumer as well as importer of coal. Coal is distributed in states like Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Assam, and many other places in India. Coal account for major percentage of India's electricity generation. In fact, India's major electricity comes from coal. It's around 64%. Over the years, we have observed that coal production has increased. It has tremendously increased even in last 5 years. In the face of climate crisis and other risks which are associated with the coal, we do see that continuous expansion of coal continues even after knowledge about renewable sources of energy. Why is it so? So we do notice that India has a long history of usage of coal. After India became independent from British rule, coal continued to play a key role in achieving self-sufficiency. In India, coal is not just a fossil fuel, it is a key to country sovereignty as nation state. It is basically to secure energy future. Coal is also linked to nationalism in India and it is equivalent to modernity. There are many laws in India which are related to coal and they protect the legacy of coal extraction. For example, Mine and Mineral Rule, which was implemented in 1957, has allowed the state to extract coal in its territory and to support economic growth. Similarly, there are other laws which exist in India, for example, Coal Bearing Areas Act 1957. According to this law, state can overrule even the ownership of land if that land has significant amount of coal and that coal need to be extracted for nation's interest. Coal and nation are closely associated with each other in India. The need for coal for nation building is superior to the needs of citizens. especially when right over land is considered. In 1975, one of the company known as Coal India Limited was established as a major company with its headquarters in Calcutta. This company is involved in giving lease to mining private companies. Despite political initiative and actions to boost renewable, fossil fuel and coal in particular appear to enjoy unfettered growth in India. The share of fossil fuel has increased from 37% in 1975 to 70% in 2015. India has implemented National Action Plan on Climate Change in 2008 to combat climate change. But then, under this strategy plan, coal is not directly focused. Rather, the main focus is to improve renewable source of energy. Coal is needed because of the argument that development depends on coal. Even the poor are least bothered about long-term health hazard associated with coal mining because it is all about surviving and fighting hunger for them every day. I also want to bring into perspective that it is not just in India, but globally, that the expansion of coal mining and coal combustion is actually taken into contradictory when climate crisis is considered. The demand for extensive emission reduction on one hand and economic growth on the other hand is irreconcilable. Let us see USA and its coal strategy. In recent years, USA has experienced rapid decline in coal consumption. Coal consumption as well as production has declined by a substantial amount over the past decade, as it is quite clear from the graph. So from 1960 till 2002, there was increase in coal consumption, but then there is a rapid decline. Why is it so? If we have to answer this, then we have to look into another alternate sources of energy which is available in USA, that is shale gas. So shale gas has given stiff competition to coal sector, and it was during Obama's administration that number of new environmental regulations were put in order to put more pressure on coal industry. While several other measures impacted coal industry, ultimately it has resulted in decline. But the main thing is that there have been implementation of stringent rule in America. For example, mercury air toxic standard in 2011. Similarly, cross-state air pollution rule and coal combustion residual rule. All these rules have put more stringent mechanism for coal-powered thermal plants to operate. Now, putting stiff competition and stiff laws on coal companies has resulted in major job loss from 2008 to 2012. Now, the coal's prominence in electricity generation has reduced, but then it has resulted in 50,000 job loss. Continued pressure exerted by environmental policies have resulted in political resistance and policy reversal. As coal industry declined, its influence in government also increased. It was later on observed that candidate Trump managed to secure victory in election because he was repeatedly promising everyone to end the war on coal. He was opposing coal's reduction. In fact, we have observed that he was able to get maximum vote in West Virginia and Kentucky, which are the coal producing states, and they were facing problems due to stiff laws that were imposed during Obama's administration. So Trump has removed all kind of restrictions on coal. And ultimately, after election of Trump, United States had lifted restrictions, which has allowed for development of coal production on this land. Later on, in 2018, EPA, that is Environmental Protection Agency of America, has proposed Affordable Clean Energy Rule, which has basically provided more relaxation to fossil fuel or coal industries to operate. Now let us see another interesting case of Germany and coal. Germany is a case to examine because it has transitioned from largely domestically oriented coal market to import one. Prior to 1990, we all know that Germany was divided into West Germany and East Germany. But afterwards, it was noticed that after 1990, when both the Germany, East and West, were united with each other, we have observed that coal production as well as coal consumption has reduced significantly in Germany. We can see till the point of 2009, coal consumption has reduced because there was a rise in natural gas subsequently. Now, with reduction in coal industry, we have observed that there was decline in jobs. Now, this was problematic for policymakers. And therefore, what Germany did in this case, Germany has substituted its own production of coal in favor of import from Poland. So, at present, Germany is getting import from Poland, and this has resulted in better policy management. And even the coal is thriving in Germany, but now they are not producing it at home, rather, they are getting it from their neighbor country. So far, coal consumption has declined, and Germany has pledged to phase out of coal usage by 2038. So this map clearly reflects how much coal consumption has gone down, and this has also an impact on CO2 emission. So coal consumption as well as CO2 consumption has gone down significantly in recent years just because they have started importing from other countries. Now, another interesting case is Japan and coal. Japan is one of the developed country, but it is not producing coal at its own territory. Rather, it is importing entire coal amount from others. While coal mining used to be an important industry in Japan earlier, but coal production has underwent turbulent decline, especially in 1960. As a result, Japan import coal. So majority amount of coal comes from Australia, Indonesia, and other countries. Though Japan has planned to expand energy self-sufficiency and move away from fossil fuel in 2010, especially after Fukushima nuclear disaster, which led Japan to shift back to fossil fuel. So, although Japan pledged to end all kind of coal production and fossil fuel production, but it is investing large amount of money in supporting coal projects in other nations like Indonesia and Bangladesh. Japan remains the only G7 country which has not agreed to phase out coal even by 2050. Now, as we can observe, there are many hurdles in green energy transition. First hurdle is political economic constraint, because this is actually affecting coal users, and moving away from coal based power generation is not that easy due to tie ups with business and industries. Second is market incentives, which are prompting countries with competitive coal power industries to invest and support expansion of coal use in their areas. Third is alongside new alternative, for example, solar energy, wind energy, we have to also look into the fact that they are actually in the slow phase of development. We have to develop them so that they reach maturity and we can transit towards them in much more faster way. Fourth problem is geological instability. So world is witnessing many wars. So the attention of world is towards war, security, defense, and therefore progress in sustainability goal is completely hampered. So we can anticipate that reducing or eliminating coal will be far more difficult than current trends. As market begins their journey to reduce coal, we should expect that political resistance, which will cause policy reversals, and it will also demand measures that will slow down phase out of coal in coming years. Now, what are the solutions toward this? So first thing is that we have to look into strong investment flow. Now, there is one good example which we can quote here, especially with regard to Germany. So Germany policymakers have managed to reduce coal capacity because they have because they have reduced the tax burden on coal power plants. Now, after reducing tax on the coal manufacturing companies or coal producing companies, they have also asked them to delay their coal power production capacity. Now, this has led to compensation cost of around 1.6 billion euros, but then it has achieved the goal of coal reduction in Germany. So such policies may be very expensive, but they present a solution to political challenge coal interest would otherwise present. Second is investment in renewable energy. So countries like India have geographical advantage because we receive 300 sunny days annually. So countries like India can generate around 5,000 billion units of electricity per year from solar power plant. India also has clean energy sectors like solar, wind, green energy, etc., which have robust investment activity. So we should try to invest more in renewable energy sector. That is one of the solution towards the problem. Third is partnership with immediate neighbors. One essential way to phase out coal is to create bilateral ties and partnership with immediate neighbors. Such cooperation will help in harnessing maximum renewable energies which are geographically available in neighboring nations. Nepal and India stands out due to its deep historical roots, cultural affinity and strategic significance. Nepal is largely reliant on renewable energy such as hydropower which account majority of its energy generation. India, on the other hand, has huge solar energy potential. So, such bilateral ties will definitely help in harnessing solar energy and to phase out coal subsequently. Now, we can see a few examples for this tie up. So, with respect to renewable energy, Nepal has been primarily exporting hydropower electricity to India in recent years as a part of SAARC Framework Agreement on Energy Cooperation. Not only this, Nepal and India has also MOU on BIMSTEC grid interconnection. Recently, Nepal has been engaged in trilateral agreements with India to sell electricity. So the three countries, Nepal, India, Bangladesh, are involved in this tripartite agreement. Now, this agreement has been in effect from November 2024. Now, Nepal, according to this agreement, Nepal will export surplus electricity to Bangladesh, especially during the rainy season that lasts from June 15 to November 15 every year. During this period, Nepal abundant river will generate surplus electricity, and India will be the interconnection between Nepal and Bangladesh. So the grid of India will be used to transfer electricity from Nepal to Bangladesh. So from this trade, Nepal is expected to earn approximately $9.2 million annually. The electricity will be sold at a fixed rate of $6.4 per unit. And therefore, Nepal will get consistent revenue stream that will be important for its energy sector. Another recent agreement which has been signed by Nepal and India is the joint venture agreement for Upper Karnali River. Okay, so the recent signing of joint venture for Upper Karnali hydropower project mark a significant milestone in India-Nepal energy cooperation. India and Nepal will develop 900 megawatt of electricity in this river, Karnali River, and it will be important because the project is expected to enhance Nepal energy infrastructure, and in return, India's renewable energy capacity will also increase. So for 25 years, this project will be under the control of India. Both the countries will harness electricity and then it will be transferred to Nepal. Now, considering India, we Indians are taking lead in harnessing solar energy in the world. India has initiated International Solar Alliance in 2015, which is a partnership of those countries which receive high amount of sunlight will work out together to generate solar energy in future. So Nepal has joined this alliance and is committed to be a reliable partner of India in this direction. Now, considering third important solution towards phasing out coal lies in the involvement of youth. The very fact that we are discussing this pertinent issue today reflects the power of youth, which is quite evident in the present time. Youth play a crucial role in phasing out by advocating policy changes, supporting renewable energy initiative, and participating in community-based solution. They can raise awareness. Climate is a global problem, and therefore youth-led initiatives are no longer limited to particular boundary. We can see it right here. Youth initiatives like Climate Cadet Collective and Youth Thinker Society are bringing students from different countries on the same forum to raise awareness about climate change. To conclude, climate is at its worst. Dry storms, ferocious cyclones, searing heat waves, and biting cold snaps are all evident in present time. Earth's climate is rapidly warming, predominantly due to the usage of fossil fuel burning. With strong commitment and partnership, we will gradually transition away from fossil, but it will take time. And we also have to ensure it is done in a way that is just and sustainable in long term. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The presentation was absolutely amazing. So maybe now I can just before opening the floor for the question, I have a request to both the speakers today present here. As we know that tomorrow we'll have a youth dialogue. So it's a cross-national youth dialogue where we have like four different themes. So I would just reiterate those themes once again. There will be four different breakout rooms. We might try to merge first and second together based on the participation. The first one is the enduring significance of coal and petroleum. Why still on coal? So, as it was mentioned in the presentation itself, that why exactly these two nations can't just turn to coal overnight. And second, green energy alternatives and inter-country synergies, trade-offs, and opportunities that have been presented in the presentation once again. Third one, influence of fossil fuel lobbying, what has been achieved and where the problem lies. And fourth, collaborative climate action frameworks, best practices and case studies, which of you already have been presented in the presentation just now. So these are the four different breakout rooms tomorrow that we are thinking to engage the youth participants today in. Based on these four themes and based on the discussion that has followed, I have requested both the speakers the question, what do you think can be the major questions these participants today present at the meeting should be discussing in different these four different themes that I have told? And if you would like to add a few more questions or different theme or something, or to some directions to the participants tomorrow, we may just begin with Neha ma'am and then we'll follow with the Baka sir.
Okay, so you are asking about questions. So maybe you can divide the team and ask them to present their perspectives related to the two countries. If you are focusing only on India and Nepal, first gauge their own knowledge in the field, what they know, and give them some, um, ask them about the resources which are present in both the countries. Like for example, how many rivers are present in Nepal, how many rivers are in India, and what kind of hydroelectric power generation we can have with that much capacity. Same way, you can ask the participants about coal resource availability in India and Nepal. And then you can also tell them you can also consider whether these bilateral talks or all these conversations that we are having between different prime ministers of nations would be effective in the coming years in phasing out coal.
All right, ma'am. And some questions that you would like to leave the youth participants in this meeting to deal with in tomorrow's session. Ma'am, by the way, your video is off. If you can just turn it on for like 1 or 2 minutes, we'll take some good screenshots. Thank you,
Yes.
ma'am.
Mm. So actually, I was wondering whether you all have questions for us because
Oh yes, yes, the floor is opening for it. Floor will be open for it.
okay.
So yes, okay. Divakar, so do you have a few questions for the participants? Then we'll open the floor for the questions. I
Sure.
mean,
Okay.
what you would leave the participants with to discuss for tomorrow's session based
Okay.
on
For
the yes.
So regarding that, I think Neha ma'am have like said some points. So I think youth can both country youth can like concentrate their like narrative, their like perception on like SARC, like South Asian Association for Regional Corporations. One thing, and another thing is about like BIMSTEC, how the BIMSTEC can be a one of the like key vital role player to like make more young people voices regarding the cleaner energy ideas. And another is like India is having like G20 assembly last year only, I think. So likewise platform, so India can more provoke its clean energy demands and its clean energy ideas along with like Nepal's and other countries, so it will be like more grateful. And for question, I think there can be a one of the one good practice we can like make that uh, there will be like youth, if I am not wrong. Yeah. Okay, there will be a youth. Then we can like share about their like campaign strategies. Like India has a different political zone, and the campaign is like quite hard to like make government more realize about these kinds of things about the climate change and other things. However, the in Nepal, young people are like doing the campaigns regarding like clean energy and like solar energy. So that can be a one of the mode of like experience sharing also for both like country young people, so they can like give and take their ideas. I
All
think
right.
that's it from my side.
All right. Thank you so much. The floor is open for questions. The ones having questions, please raise your hand. Mhm. Oh, do we have questions from participants here? All right. Maybe I can just go ahead with my question. So in the meantime, you all can think. So having this discussion between India and Nepal and seeing that the kind of exchange is going on and their potential can be untapped, I just have this one question maybe. As far as I know about India, the financing for climate is really at something I don't know. It's not really something which is coming, and I recently visited Nepal last year as well, and it was shocking for me to actually see that the public transportation system in Nepal is still actually based on coal, and coal and petroleum and those should say not really based on CNGs and everything. So maybe what do you think is the other major? Of course, there are challenges. But my question is basically on what about the foreign funding? So you mentioned that there are few projects going on from EU and some other nations as well. But I don't think that there is a lot about it. And do you think that there should be? So yeah, your views on the same because we see the COP29 failing, which was a finance COP, and the reason was again the same because no developed nation is taking the responsibility when they are responsible for the same thing. So
So hello, I think it's okay. Am I audible? Okay. As you have mentioned about like public vehicle system, so I think I have like last in my slide, I have like in my speech, I have told that after like 2 years of campaign, the Kathmandu metropolitan city agreed to like pass the policies about like every public vehicle. Right after that policies when implemented, after that point of time, the those like companies who will buy a public vehicle, they need to buy EV public vehicle. So there are a public vehicle right now. The you can like see many microbuses that used to travel across the Nepal are EV mode. We even have the petrol and like diesel mode, that microbus, but it we have like EV, because due to that policy we can say that the public vehicle is like transforming from petroleum product like petroleum to EV mode. So one of the thing is that. So second is it cannot be seen like in 2 days or 3 days. It is quite challenging because they have like the companies, the businessman has already invested their like lots of money on like the vehicles earlier. So he can say them like from tomorrow you guys need to like stop down every petroleum diesel buses and cars in the road. We cannot say that, but we can make the policies and make government more aware that how it is devastating our nature. So at that point I can say that the government is doing a really good job, but there are a lack of things. There more we need to like provoke the government in terms of like having more strong policies, so that each and every companies who is right now running the public vehicles should more want for their like having like those who are running like diesel or like petroleum product vehicles, they need to have like check of about like environmental check. So there is a guideline from the government, and that needs to be checked from the Nepal side, but that is like there is a corruption and there is a lots of governance issues inside. So we are also right now advocating for that too. So it was like about the as you have mentioned in the question about the public vehicle, I just like to response in that question is this much. So another thing is that when you were like asked about like Azerbaijan issue and other like EU funding projects that is going on across the Nepal. So there are like selective district, basically in our like rural places in Nepal, people used to like wood and other cow dungs as their like cooking sources. So in terms of that, right now those communities that's home people are advocate are making more responsible regarding the like health issues, health hazards, and more they are like distributing about the clean cooking stove like we can say like electrical stoves, so that they are using that, and they are more illiterate, and that is quite hard to make them know about how to use those devices in the rural areas. So that is the work is right now doing by the EU supported, and other things in like upper hilly and Himalayan regions. EC mode is like supporting in like doing a research, making more like a knowledge, generating a case study about the glacier level. And I think I have forget to mention that recently the Nepal was hit by a like Thame glacier outburst. So that was the one of the danger situation that Nepal has heated by the climate crisis. So it was not marked like in any report there was not marked about the Thame glacier outburst, that was even not in a danger list. But unfortunately, mm, the that Thame outburst was happened. So everyone from that point is like quite shocked, and they are more responsibly looking forward the mountain region. So likewise the governmental agency and other partner agency are working on the generating ideas, developing a research report, so that for a more evidence can be generated, and other like they are also supporting the community level. That's things.
All
And
right.
other things is like people are more
Well,
walking, they are
excuse
advocating
me.
for their rights. Like,
Excuse me. I have a one question.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, please, ma'am, go ahead.
Okay. What are the expectation that local participation? Do you think from your side that uh, the initiatives towards the greenery campaigns can lead the policy maker to make the law towards the lawmaking? Thank you so much.
Mm.
Thank
So
you so much,
is
ma'am,
this
for
question for me?
okay, okay. We'll just move on. Give me a minute. There's this question. I hope both the speakers have noted down, and there is a question on in the chat as well, which is written by Ritik. Neha, ma'am, I was wondering how does India's continued dependence on coal impact our commitments to international climate agreements like Paris Agreement? And we have one more question. I see a raised hand by Tanvi. We'll take these three questions, and then as we're taking the time as well, so we'll take these three questions. Speakers, please note down and then respond to these three questions one by one. Tanvi, please go ahead.
So, ma'am, am I audible?
You are, you are.
So, as ma'am, my question is from you, Neha, ma'am. So, as you discussed about this problem that the labor force which is working in the coal industry, they have this fear in their mind regarding the that if climate policy initiatives or initiatives come, they will hamper, or they will be a like they will hamper their job opportunities. They will not get jobs and all. So what are your suggestions about this perspective? Like, what could be a better alternative to let them understand that it is not for taking up your jobs, but it is for giving you provide but it is for working for the climate change and mitigation towards it.
Okay.
Although we're okay, thank you so much. I think we're moving very ahead, but I see one more raise hand. I will take one more. Meet, can you go ahead with the question very quickly? Just Meet. Are you there? Meet Singh. And yes, Ashvi, please.
Hello, hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes,
I'm me.
Meet. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. I'm from Delhi. Ma'am, my question is that to make EV batteries, we have to mine lithium, and when we depend on EVs, we have to mine on large amount of lithium, which is not sustainable. What is your opinion?
All right. We have last question. No more hand raise. I'm so sorry. Yes, Ashvi.
Yes, hello. Am I audible?
You are. You are.
Okay, so I have a question from both the speakers. While it is clear that Nepal and India cannot directly shift from coal to renewable energy sources like solar power, wind power, or hydropower, how can we realistically in rural areas specifically, where people still largely rely on traditional sources like firewood, animal dung, and charcoal for daily energy uses?
Your voice broke in between. Can you repeat? How can we after that?
Can I type if it's not audible?
Yes, yes, yes. Please type.
Okay.
So now we'll move with the answers. We'll first move with Neha ma'am, and then we'll move to Divakar sir, and then we'll just conclude the session.
Okay, first I would like to answer a question related to the labor force. The student has asked me that there is a fear in the mind of laborers who are working in coal mining site that they will lose their job perspective immediately when we start with phasing out of coal. So this is actually true. It is these people who are laborers, they are risking every day their lives. They are working in coal pit, they are going deep inside underground earth to extract all these minerals. It's quite risky and they are inhaling toxic fumes every day. Despite all this, they are actually working for survival. Their main task is to earn daily wages so that they can get their bread and butter. So it's about their survival. But on the other hand, we consider coal consumption on the in the name of nation building. We consider that we will grow our industries because nation will expand only when industries will prosper, and ultimately this put more burden on policymakers to phase out coal. Now there is this is contradictory. In fact, it's difficult because those people who are living in immediate surrounding of coal are not getting any development. They are not actually the players who will be getting benefit in sort of some kind of electricity, but they are facing maximum risk. But then there is right now it is actually a difficult choice for the government to which option is actually best. It's difficult to answer this because even if we consider solar energy projects, they do have their own problems. For example, for solar energy we need to be dependent on some kind of gallium and silicon material, which is very expensive and lead to mining ultimately. So it's actually a difficult choice, but then I do agree that people who are living in immediate surrounding of minerals, they are thinking about their daily perspective, like how they will earn their daily bread. So it's quite correct. But then one thing which has been observed to be fruitful is that we can shift them gradually into renewable energy sector. If we are able to provide them employment in renewable energy sector right in their surrounding, then there is a possibility that they will accept any kind of policies which are related to phasing out of coal. So that is the first question. Second was related to EU batteries, which has been asked to me by Meet Singh. So definitely, it is again a difficult choice, as I'm saying. Now, on one hand, we consider that we have to reduce hydro. We have to basically, if we shift towards hydropower, then again it will lead to destruction of forest. So like generating electricity in India, I mean in India, or you can say entire world, is basically dependent on electricity, which comes from two main sources, either hydropower or coal. Coal is the leading player. Now, if we shift towards other sources of energy, then there are problems. Like, for example, these days we are talking of electric vehicles. No doubt, electric vehicles are better because they are not dependent on petroleum and therefore they will reduce pollution problems. But then the scene behind is that they are dependent on extraction of lithium and many other harmful substances. It's actually not sustainable, but then it is a difficult choice which one is better again. So if we have to reduce our burden on hydropower and coal consumption, then the alternative is that we can go ahead with electric vehicles. Right now it look very fancy, but then gradually we will get to know the problems associated with it. We will get to know when people will demand that these lithium kind of batteries are totally harmful. So probably we will find some other alternative, but no alternative is the best, as we can see here. Okay, third question was related to India's commitment to coal phase out. So India is strongly committed to phase out coal in the coming years. We are party to Paris Agreement. We are actually, even in our INDC, that is intended nationally determined contribution, that is a proposal which has to be submitted to United Nations as a part of Paris Agreement. We have strongly highlighted that we will shift towards renewable energy, and according to the INDC, The idea is that we will shift towards renewable energy, and we will invest strongly in solar, wind, tidal energy projects at least by 40%. Moreover, we will look into renewable sector, and therefore we are doing so many tie-ups with our neighbors like Nepal. Similarly, we are also doing partnership with other tropical countries located near equator that can harness solar energy as a part of International Solar Alliance. We can see our Prime Minister is strongly always supporting implementation of solar energy. In fact, LED bulbs have also seen rise in the last few years. So this is all because we are committed to climate change reduction, and we are party to Paris Agreement. So India is introducing all these policies, and probably we will be able to phase out because we do have time till 2030 to implement all these policies. So, so yes, India will be able to phase out, but then it require a lot of cooperation from other nations, as can be highlighted, and it also require willpower at the local region. So people should be able to shift their employment towards renewable energy sources, because they are, from them we find resistance towards implementation of phase out policies. Okay, so these three questions have been asked to me. Um, any other question that I'm missing out?
Yes, maybe we can go ahead with Divakar sir responding to the questions.
So, okay. So one thing was like the first question I just missed. The question was from Samjana ji, if I am not wrong.
Yes, sir.
So what was the that question I just missed to note down?
Uh, I just asked about the expectations of local participation towards the greenery project, so that the government can make a policy towards to combat or to make mitigate the climate situations. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Samjana ji. So, about like local participation and expectation, like for the policy level, there are like we have a three structure in like governance system. We have like local government and provincial government and central government. So, for like local participation, we can intervene the local voices in local level planning process, which used to initiate from Push to Ashar Mashanta in Nepal. So we can like think about that, and we can just raise our questions, our like participation, our demand, or our any queries there as a governmental program. One thing is that, and another thing is that like making more renewable part and raising the voices in like more sustainable things. Like we have measure like implementing government is like local government. So we need to more strengthen the local government perceptions. We need to like raise the voices. We need to make them more accountable, responsible in terms of having a more sustainable development works entire in the local community level. Or we can also make the provincial governmental more responsible in terms of having the policy which will align with the local government to support the local government in like environmental conservations to to combat the climate crisis. So likewise we can go through with local participation, I think so. So in terms of lastly about the central government, we can like have MPs of our local election area, and we can just make more responsible them with our queries for the policy briefing. As we have already two kinds of policies. We have the climate change policy 2076, and another one is like we can say like environment assessment plan. And other local government is more responsible to make the policies. And also we have guiding policies like NDC. And I have also there is a one policy about environmental conservations and more on a climate jalvayu, something like that. There is a policy, we can also more intervene them as per need. We can raise the voices to change of those policies so that our voices can be more heard from the central level government, so that they are more responsible to draft the bill and to compensate with the provincial and local level. So from my side, I think I have justify your questions. If not, so please text me. I will. So I think there is another question also in chat box of
Sir, I would like to add something on it. Like,
mhm.
have they made any carbon credit stuffs? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so sometimes, so you are talking about like carbon credit. So Nepal has just received the funds of carbon credit, about like I know in like Nepali currency, that is like ek arba 60 crore, I think. So that fund is right now is not divided like mutually as per the regional area. So there is quite conflict between the government and like a local forest association. So they are demanding that we have we have done work from 2050 to Bikram Sambat to till now, and we have conserved this forest. So they are demanding that those budgets should be in part of like local forest community. That kinds of negotiation is going on. At that point, the government realized for like carbon related policies to like divide the amount that is given by like carbon credit fund. So for those point of intervention, young people voices can be a part of that. And government, I think very soon government is going to like draft this bill, and they are like having a consultation across the country also. So I think there is a chance for young people to be a part of that policy making process. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Devakar sir, Neha ma'am. And as we see the time is ticking, I would like to invite Bhavna Bhandari ma'am for giving her final remarks and the vote of thanks from YTS. Vaishnavi. Namaste and good evening. I'm Bhavna and I'm representing the board of directors of Youth Thinkers Society today. So I'll briefly talk about YTS. YTS is an NGO working on youth leadership and community empowerment. Its major emphasis is on policy advocacy on various aspects influencing youths and communities, including the climate change. And it's a privilege to collaborate with CQ, expanding our endeavors even beyond the border and foster interstate efforts to combat climate change. So, firstly, I would like to acknowledge today's guest, esteemed speakers, dedicated participants, and the entire Climate Cadets collective team from Nepal and India. So, on behalf of Youth Thinker Society, it is my privilege to extend our deepest gratitude to everyone who has made today's session of BAITHAK to a resounding success. Your presence, passion, and commitment to confronting the critical issue of fossil fuel lobbying in global climate policy have truly brought this dialogue to life. And to our distinguished speakers from Nepal and India, Mr. Diwakar Upreti and Dr. Neha Sarma, thank you for sharing your invaluable insights and perspectives. Mr. Upreti, he highlighted the status of Nepal pertinent to coal dependency, clean energy, hydroelectricity potential, relationship between Nepal and India in promoting clean energy, ways forward for sustainable energy across the nations, and the importance of aligning projects with environmental standards, giving us the comprehensive picture. Likewise, Dr. Sharma shared insights on climate change, IPCC reference on the issue, business interest versus coal consumption, coal production growth in India, its historical development, legal dimension, and global perspective on coal extraction and use, the hurdles in green energy transition, and also the ways forward to address the problem, including bilateral ties with neighboring nations like Nepal. So, your thoughtful contributions have not only deepened our understanding, but also sparked a meaningful conversation that will resonate far beyond this session. Your dedication to climate justice inspires us all. And to our main participants, your enthusiasm and active engagement have been the major highlight of today's session. The questions you have asked, the ideas you have shared, and the energy you have brought have made this dialogue a true reflection of collaborative spirit that Boytak embodies. So, as we close day one, let's carry this momentum forward into tomorrow. Day two promises to be a dynamic opportunity to co-create actionable strategies and build pathways for sustained impact. We need your voices, your ideas, and your unwavering commitment as we chart the way forward together. So thank you once again to the organizers, moderators, and every individual who has worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make BAITHAK 2 possible. Together, we are building a powerful network of youth advocates ready to shape a just and sustainable world. So let's reconvene tomorrow with the same energy and resolve. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your remarks, ma'am. Now, on behalf of Climate Cadets Collective as the founder and president, I would like to thank everyone involved in this participation today, especially the speakers and the whole YTS society. The special credits have to go to Upma Chara for coordinating it completely with me. On behalf of Climate Cadets Collective, Aditya, Mansha, and Tanvi, and everybody who is involved in participation in the organizing committee of this event, immensely grateful to have you today in this session. And now let's get to the work. I'll give you a few guidelines for tomorrow's session. So, as I already mentioned in the middle of the session, that there are four different sub themes that we divided with, and a few participants are now reaching out to us saying that they want to shift to the themes. Now, there's just simple guideline to all of you. Do one thing. You're in that community. Just go and request to join that breakout room 1, 2, and 3. Soon, just now, I'll make sure that the all breakout room have the topic in their description, so you know that the breakout room that you have joined is going to discuss this topic. Now, a few guidelines in the sense like I think you all have received a mail regarding what all will be done. You all will be given. You'll all join the same meeting room tomorrow, and 25 minutes of discussion time will be given based on which theme you want to discuss. Just go, and there will be four breakout rooms in the meeting itself. You can join in. I'll not set any lock in the meeting room and the breakout room, so that you can join whichever theme you want to discuss. You will all be given 25 minutes. There will be moderators in each single room who are secret representatives and directors who will be actually working on the report. So they will be moderating in the sense like they will make sure that the discussion is going in a flow and there are no hurdles in the discussion. So they are themselves participants. They can, pitch in their points and voices. And I expect all of you to just participate in a very diligent manner, have group discussions, come up with themes, ideas, and then once we do a discussion, it's all just a talking shop until and unless we don't, write it down and make a documentation. Which is why we have this thing that. Of course, the report for this BAITHAK 2 will be prepared by a few individuals and the moderators who are going to be there in tomorrow's session. But in case, as a group, as you are engaging in breakout room 1, breakout room 2, in case you found that you can make a whole joint declaration maybe or a press release for breakout room 1 or breakout room 2, and now I understand that it's very difficult for you all to just do it in like 25 minutes. What we expect you to do in those 25 minutes is to discuss the problems and find a few solutions, and then following those 25 minutes you will all come back to the main meeting room and give us presentation as to within just 5 minutes as to what has been discussed in your room, so that everybody who is a part of this whole program know what has been discussed in this breakout room 1, in breakout room 2, breakout room 3. So this will go ahead, moderators will know how to go forward with that. But it's just like, let's say there are 10 participants in breakout room 1, you all discuss something, the moderator will ask who would like to present in the main meeting room. You all four breakout rooms will be given 5 minutes for the presentation. So it can be one person who can present, it can be 10 person who want to present can present. It's just like you need to come up and sum it up within just 5 minutes, so that we have time for the other breakout room and the other sub theme to be discussed as well and known as to what you all have discussed in your breakout rooms. So these are a few guidelines that I had for you all. And coming on to the documentation part, if you all feel like you can, after the session tomorrow, within a 4 to 5 or 6 days, come up with a kind of a joint declaration, just a simple document, just a simple, 1 or 2 page thing as to what you all discussed. Of course, we have our moderators there, they will be noting everything down. But in case you come up with a joint declaration along with the number of coordinators who are writing this, you can write your name. We'll be very happy to publish that in our report as it is. So depends on you. We now the moderators might just send messages in your breakout room, sending who would like to go for the documentation, and if you guys are doing for documentation. So and you may start engaging with each other. These are the questions you would like to discuss tomorrow in the session. So the WhatsApp group is all yours, discussion is all yours. And in the end, yes, again, thank you so much. And as I see, it's like 8:19 and seeing almost 27 again here is a big deal. Thank you so much for making it a success. Yeah, Upma, do you have any words for all of us, or should we just conclude?
I don't have.
All right, so we will conclude. Let's see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Have a good day.